by bread alone. Yeah, this word got food in it. Stepping on the devil dome, you should see the bruise in it. Backing out the scripts, told a demon to stand down. Go against the Most High, we gon' see how it pan out. The Father gave me hope, fill me with the ghosts. Now they hate it when I glow. Joseph with the coat, looking for their fruit, but they ain't got no cantaloupe. The Messiah or Belial, you can't be a fan of both. Can't serve two masters. Bread of heaven with the living water, yeah, serving up a truth platter. We ain't idolizing no folly, now we setting up a new standard. When Christ touched down, make the whole earth shake like Bruce Banner. Yeah, bringing them troops to ya. End times getting spookier, warfare getting nuclear, mankind getting goofier. They intoxicated with a wine, damn, she done roofied them. I'm checking every word, spirit doctrine like a proofreader. I hate these Nicolatans, hate these great Renatos, man, I hate these flipping pagans. Trying to play my father and I hate these imitations. Screaming out Hosanna.
First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, through His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, through the word and only cause Jesus Christ. We are the Hebrew Israelites. We come out week in and week out to profess the downfall of this wicked kingdom, to teach repentance to blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans. It is a tedious job, but who else is going to do it, man? How you doing today, sis? Do you believe in the Bible?
Oh, yeah.
You said it with some passion there, right there. Can I ask what got you into the Bible?
Myself.
Yourself? Okay, that's always good to get yourself into the Bible. The Bible says, cursed is he who makes man his arms. Basically like saying, you're cursed if the reason you're serving God is because of another person. Because whatever another person is doing is going to depend on how much you serve God. So that's good, right?
Spiritually
It should, yeah, it should. It definitely starts from within yourself, right? So, can I ask, I want to say I know the answer to this, but can I ask, do you love God? Okay, let me get John 15, what's that? You love to keep my commandments. I'm going to read this verse real quick, because we always ask people this when they come up, if they love God or not, and then we try to put it to the test. Because one of the themes in the Bible a lot is people honoring God with just words, but we want to see if people actually honor God with their actions. Right, so I just want to read this real quick and see.
This is the book of John, chapter 14 and verse 15. If you love me,
And what letter words? What color words are these?
red.
So what does that mean when it's red letters? It means Christ is speaking. So usually in the Bible, when it's red letters, you find in the Gospel it means Christ is speaking to people or to his disciples. Right?
If you love me, keep my commandments.
If you love me, keep my commandments. So now, where do we find the commandments of Christ? In the Bible. Why do you say supposedly?
Because that's what I learned.
Okay. Well, the commandments of Christ aren't really his commandments per se. They're the commandments which his Father gave to Moses. And the commandments that his Father gave to Moses, we find in the first 5 books of the Bible, from Genesis all the way to Numbers, or Genesis all the way to Deuteronomy. That's where we find the laws, like laws that says we can't eat shrimp, crab, lobster, laws that says we have to keep the Sabbath. So laws like that, do you think we still have to keep those laws, or because Christ just said if we love him, keep his commandments? Is there a stipulation on when the love of Christ stops?
No, it's no gray area.
So we have to keep the commandments. Okay, all praise. I'm glad you said that, sis. So if I were to put you on the spot right now and say, are you keeping those commandments, what would you say?
Honestly, no, not all of them, because I would be lying. So, but I do try to follow as much as I'm supposed to, but I know I don't.
And what does that look like? Like, for instance, right? Let me get, for instance, Deuteronomy 22. There's a law in the Bible that says we have to wear tassels or fringes. So you'll see brothers wearing that. So that's a commandment that we have to keep. So
I never knew that.
that's all praises. And I'm glad you're here right now. So this is what we're out here for. This is what makes our day when we're out here in the cold like this, and a sister or a brother like yourself comes and say, you know what, I want to learn more about the commandments. That's our joy right there.
Right. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter.
Just so you like know we're not just making this stuff up and it's actually.
No, I respect religion. So
Okay.
Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 12. Thou shalt make thee fringes upon thy 4 corners of thy vesture.
And you see how the other right there has it on his 4 corners. That's how we're supposed to wear the tassels, right? Read.
Of thy vesture wherewith thou cover thyself with.
Now, so anything we wear, we're supposed to wear. So there's a law similar to this where, so there's Gedalium and there's tassels. I don't want to get into the intricacies of it, but therefore remembering to keep the commandments of God. when you
What,
read the story,
here?
yeah, the tassels and the fringes, therefore, they're a law to remind you to keep the rest of the laws. Like, for example, today is our Sabbath, right? So if me dressed as how a child of God is supposed to be dressed in Israelite, and I come out here on a Sabbath and I'm about to go into a store, I look down, I see my tassel, I'm supposed to, it's the Sabbath, I'm not supposed to buy or sell on the Sabbath. What am I going into a store to do? So those commandments, that tassel, and that is for a reminder to keep the laws like God. So let me get Psalms 19 and 7, because people will say that the laws are done away with, but they don't know the spiritual implications of the law, right? That's why they're saying they're done away with. The law is supposed to be our guiding light to see us how we live, because there's a law that says you should love one another, right? But Christ came and said, you know what? The law says you should love one another, but people have like definitions, or people try to find loopholes into that law. And then Christ came and not really revolutionized it, but like gave the fine print to it. This is how you love one another, that a man should die for his brother. That's the love that you should have. Yep. So let me get there.
God, it's the book of Psalms, chapter 19 and verse 7.
Uh-huh.
The law of the Lord is perfect.
The law of the Lord is perfect, right? Because when you read Matthew 5 and 42 or 48, Christ says, be ye therefore perfect as your Father is perfect. But people read that not knowing that Christ is coming from a standpoint of the requirement of you have to keep the law. So now they say, oh, you can't be perfect. But the brother just read that the law is perfect. So when Christ is telling us that we need to be perfect, he's referencing the law that makes you perfect, right?
Converting the soul.
Doing what?
Converting the soul.
It converts the soul. So when you start keeping the commandments, there's a commandment like we just referenced, literally, that you have to love your brother, that you can't gossip, you can't tell, but you have to be righteousness and judgment. So those laws, when you start keeping it, it starts converting your mind, it starts changing the way you think.
It's like training yourself.
Exactly. That's why the Bible says, train up a child in the way he should go. Train him up in what? The laws of God. When you train up a child in the way that he should go, imagine our community. Like, I have a son, and I'll use this example a lot because it's the easiest I can think of to show the benefits of the law. Imagine me and you don't know each other, right? And we're both keeping the laws of the Most High God, and we have kids. I teach my child to love his people like himself. Now, when I'm not around and when you're not around, they see each other. Imagine the amount of love they would have for one another because we raised them up. That's the benefits of the law.
Right.
And this is what's severely lacking in the community. Right? The Bible says, let me you quoting something?
Oh yeah, just above.
God. Let me get Isaiah 5 and 13. Because I want to show you something in our community. Because why we advertise keeping the law is so important, because the why has to be important. Because we look at our communities and we see that, dang, kids are dying at an alarming rate. There's a lot of single parent households. What can fix that? Well, the laws of the Most High God outline the blueprint of how to fix that. This is our why as to why we advertise keeping the commandments so much, because this is for our betterment, right? Read that.
God, it's the book of Isaiah, chapter 5 and verse 13.
Uh-huh.
Therefore, my people are gone into captivity.
This is the reason why we're in America. This is the reason why we were even brought into captivity, right? Read.
Because they have no knowledge.
We have no knowledge, right? The knowledge of self, the knowledge of how to govern ourselves, the knowledge of how to raise our kids. We have no knowledge of these things. And when we ask these problems, our people sweep it under the rug because if we don't deal with it, if we don't acknowledge them, then it's not real. But that's not the case. If we don't acknowledge it, it just snowballs into a bigger problem. So this is our state, right?
And their honorable men are
And
famished.
their honorable men are famished, right? Because we're of the mindset that we don't have any men that are accountable in the community. Because as the man, you are the leader of the household. So it falls to you to dictate like what doctrines come in and come out the house. If you're just watching your kids, if you're just letting your kids willy-nilly on social media, then social media is raising them, not you. So as the honorable man, you're supposed to be filtering what comes in the house and what goes out the house. But because you don't have any honorable men, anything is able to come into the house and influence the kids, and then the kids go out rambunctious and rebellious and shooting people. If a man had honor and honorability, like, your child wouldn't be able to bring a gun home after just killing somebody and just be able to get away with it. Because you as the dad would be like, you're not even supposed to be out there treating your people like that. Because our honorable men are famished, kids are able to do and just run over the house. That's not the case, right?
And their multitude dried up with thirst.
And their multitude dried up with thirst. We're dried up with thirst because the Bible calls the laws of the Most High God living water. That's why we're dried up with thirst, because we don't have living waters to nourish us. right? Are you familiar with the value of dry bones story? Like, have you ever heard a reference? The value of dry bones.
I never heard that.
So there's a chapter in Ezekiel, whenever you get a chance, it's like Ezekiel 37. You can go and read it, right? So it's basically looking at the children of Israel, and the prophet Ezekiel is like having a conversation with God through an angel. And God is basically telling them that these people are basically dead men walking because there's nothing of life coming out of them. All we see is just death coming out of them. They have no understanding of self. They're killing each other. They're like basically in our predicament right now. And Ezekiel's having a conversation like, can these people live? Is there a chance that these people can come back to glory? And God is saying, yeah, they can, but I have to put my life in them. I have to put living water in them. So this is what we're out here doing, try to give understanding and life back to our people. But it's severely lacking. That's all we're doing. The brother said he had a precept.
Oh, well, no, this is just the story of Ezekiel, where he was talking about the dry bones. This is Ezekiel chapter 10 and verse, 37 and verse 10 and 11. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and breath came into them.
But in fact, start at where it says, can you bones live?
Ezekiel 37 and 3, and he said unto me, son of man, can these bones live?
Right, so it's looking at the dead state of these people, right? Because when a body dies, it starts to decay. You're able to like see the bones. So the dead people that he's seeing, he's looking at them as bones because they don't have any meat, any flesh on them. So he's talking to Ezekiel. He's asking a rhetorical question. These people that you're seeing that are dead, can they live? And what's the answer?
And I answered, O Lord, only thou knowest.
God only knows. Only God knows, right? And this is what we say all the time. Like, if it's not for divine intervention, I personally don't see a way where our people will get their act together. Because we've had 500 years to do so, and we haven't.
I know I'm not perfect, but I agree 100% with that, and I speak that on the daily. I'm not, like I said, I live in my truth. I don't follow everything the way it should, but as much as I
And I
can.
like that honesty too.
Yeah.
But here's the thing about that. It becomes much easier to strive for that perfection when you're in a community that holds you accountable for that. Like, I know these brothers, if I were to come up and I'm not wearing my friends, that's the first thing they would talk to me about. So you need to surround yourself with people that hold you accountable to the
Yeah, and that's true. Each day, like, as life goes on, you're supposed to perfect yourself more into the Christ. So I think that, but I thank y'all for your
Yes,
time.
ma'am. You have our information too. So
I do.
our goal is not just to talk to you about keeping the commandments, but to put you in a position where you can keep it.
You
All right. So
gotta
like
make
for
time
instance,
for
for example,
God.
we can get you there. So reach out to us. Just don't hesitate.
That's right.
Thank you.
We love you, sister.
All praise.
And hopefully we're not. And hopefully we're trying to change the narrative of we're just people that is out here on the cold screaming at people. 'Cause I heard that a couple of times where sisters walking by and they just think we're screaming at people. We don't want to be known as that. Yeah, our situation is bad, but we would still also have to love our people to like have a conversation with them, not just scream at them, right? You still holding that Johnson? Come bring that out.
John 3, 19. It's the book of John, chapter 3 and verse 19. And this is the condemnation, that light is coming to the world, and men love darkness rather than light.
And I was thinking about that before when the brother was teaching, right? This is the condemnation of the world. That light is coming to the world and men love darkness rather than light. Now keep that in mind, yo. Read that from the second Ezra. Second Ezra, get your house in order. 14:400. Right? Keep that in mind. Light is coming to the world and men love darkness rather than light. And what do you do with light? Light illuminates things, right? You can see more when you have light in your presence, right? But men love darkness, right? Keep that in mind.
Second Ezra chapter 14 and verse 13. Now therefore set thy house in order.
Right? It says set your house in order. But light is coming into your house. You're kicking the light out for the darkness. How can you set your house in order without light? Right? This is what the scriptures do. It illuminates things for you. Okay, now I'm keeping the commandments now. Okay, I know I need to cut out smoking. That's what you need to throw out your house. But you can't do that if you don't read the scriptures to find out smoking is a sin. It's idol worship and it kills you. You can't do that. You can't set your house in order if you don't have light. No wonder our people love darkness. And no wonder why houses are so dirty, because we hate light and love darkness, right? And that's the thing. That's the condemnation of the world. You want to set your house in order, but when light is coming to reprove you, to rebuke you, you hate that rebuke, kick the light out, and you love darkness rather than light, right? It's like somebody comes into your room, right? Turns on the light, you're like, damn, man, get out the room, man. and just turn the light back on, throw the covers on yourself. You're not gonna have a productive day if you just stay in bed all day. You can't clean your room, you can't do all that you need to do. You just throw the covers on yourself and stay in bed the whole time in darkness. But this is what our people do, and then we complain about us not having any progress, us not getting anywhere when you're just staying in bed all day. Like, what do you expect to happen? For there to actually be change, there has to be change. One of the quotes in the world is that I like take to heart is nothing changes if nothing changes, right? If you really sit there and think about it, nothing changes if nothing changes. If you want change, then something has to change.
That's right.
If you don't want change, then all right, don't change nothing, but don't complain about the fact that there isn't change. You got a precept?
Con, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 6 and verse 23 in the NIV. For the commandments is a lamp, and this teaching is light.
And this teaching is light. So this teaching is how you, because Christ says, no man have the light and put it under a bushel, roughly paraphrasing, right? So this teaching is supposed to shine so everybody can see, so that they can illuminate and clear out their house too. So this is why it's not just about you, right? Your work illuminates the way for other people as well, and not just yourself, right? So when you're internalizing this teaching and you're letting it shine through you, you're making a way for others to like clean their houses too. But brothers love darkness rather than light, and they try to hide that light, right? But you can't set your house in order if you don't have light. It's just not possible. I don't know nobody that gets dressed in the dark, that brushes their teeth in the dark, I don't know nobody that does these things in the dark. So you need light, but you can't have that light without these instructions, right? Read.
And this teachings is light and corrections and instructions for the way of life.
For the way of life, right? That's what it is. These laws, statutes, and commandments, we're not just out here advocating for the keeping of the laws, statutes, and commandments for no reason. There's a reason for this. There's a rhyme and reason, right? There's a method to the madness that you see the Israelites here doing. Yeah, we're screaming at people, but why are we screaming at people? A lot of people don't want to know the why, right?
Hey, open rebuke is better than secret love.
Listen, I'd rather you turn on the light and my eyes hurt a little bit than I stay in bed and be late for the bus, right? Let me get Isaiah 1 and 16, start at 16, right? But this is what we're out here to do. We're out here to have conversations with our people, and that's the mission, right? Because the only way we're gonna fix things, it starts with talking. You can't fix something if you don't talk. So we can't talk if our people aren't honest with the fact that they have a problem. How you doing today, sis? Can I give you a card? Just about the Bible? Nah? Dang, why not? What's the problem with Jesus? Get Jesus out of my face, man. I'm trying to get some beverage. Get Jesus out of my face, man. I don't got time for that. Bring that out for me, bro.
God, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 1 and verse 16. Wash you, make you clean.
That's what we're out here to do. Hey, I'm not here to give you a bath, man. That's not what I'm here to do. But I'm here to give you the tools so you can wash yourself. Give yourself a bath, man, and wash you and make you clean from what? From all the sin, right? From all the trauma, from all the evil that's been done to us. But our people like to stay in oppression, as Scripture says, right? Keep going.
Put away the evil of your doing.
Put away the evil of your doings. But for you to do that, right? Hosea 5 and 15 says, I will go my way until they acknowledge their offense, right? For you to be able to wash yourself and put away the evil of your doings, you have to acknowledge that you have evil doings. But nowadays, our people, you can't tell them their shit stinks. But the first step, right, is acceptance. Every time we talk about dealing with grief or dealing with things like trauma and stuff like that, the first step they always say is acceptance. All right, you gotta humble down, accept the fact that you're doing wickedly, right? But when you see us out here trying to tell you that you're doing wickedly, now we're the bad guys. Nah, we had to acknowledge that we did wickedly too. We've messed up as a people. We're fucked up as a people. But we don't have to stay fucked up. We don't have to stay there. We can heal. We can come back to the Lord. That's what Christ died for. Christ didn't die so we could keep messing up. Oh, careful. Good. You'll be all right. Put some dirt in it, man. Rub some dirt on it. She'll be all right, man. Right? Keep going.
Put away the evil of your doings from before mine eyes.
Maybe that's a sign y'all should stop and listen.
That you read my mind.
Maybe that should stop. Listen,
Right.
man, God do it these
Right in
days,
front
right?
of us.
Maybe that's a sign you should stop and listen, right? Put away the evil of your doings and do what?
And cease to do evil.
Cease to do evil. But you can't tell that to our people, though. Cease to do evil. You telling me I gotta stop selling drugs to my people? You telling me I gotta stop peddling dope music to my people? I can't do that. That's the way my kids eat.
Stop
What about
wearing blonde hair.
what about your brother's kids eat? You telling me you all right with your brother's kids growing up hearing that it's cool to do dope and them doing dope, but you wouldn't have your kids do dope. It's like Cardi B saying most of her songs she won't play for daughters in the vicinity, but she's all right with your daughters listening to it though, right? That's what we were talking about our people having no integrity as a people. Because
They go to like
I guess it ain't good for nobody.
you should put that cigarette down since you know it, right? But that's what scripture says. What? I don't even want to touch that. But the thing is, like, the integrity of our people is at an all-time low that the so-called leaders of our community, like the rappers, the drug dealers, the basketball players, they'll do things, they'll promote things that they won't want their kids to promote, but they're all right with your kids consuming it, right?
madness.
If I had integrity, what I allow my kids to do and what I wouldn't allow my kids to do should apply to your kids as well. Because I love you like myself, right? So that's your kid as much as it's my kid. That's the community aspect that we're missing as a people. So we got to put away the evil of our doings and cease to do evil. But we're so prideful and we're so arrogant, we don't even want to come down and acknowledge that, right? That's why you got to sit in the dust. This is what America's for your ass to realize your shit do stink. You ain't as great as you think you is. If you was, you wouldn't be in this situation. Right? Keep going.
Verse 17. Learn to do well. Seek judgment.
Learn to do well. What person actually wants to learn to do well? Which one of y'all actually want to learn to do good? Learn to love one another. Because these are things that we had to learn to do, apparently. I have to learn to not shoot my brother if he owes me $5, apparently. Right? Things that people other nations naturally know how to do, we have to learn how to do. Right? I have to learn to not slime out my brother. I have to learn to not sleep with my brother's wife. I have to learn these things, except we don't want to learn it. Right? We want to continue doing evil, and this is why we're going to continue in America. Right? This is why we're going to continue affliction in America. Keep going.
Relieve the oppressed. Judge the fatherless.
Judge the fatherless. Our people don't want to do these things. We take advantage of the fatherless. What's a single parent household? Let me see how much money I can get off that woman that's working 2 jobs. Man. She's already working 2 jobs, no husband to take care of, and plenty of miles to feed. But let me add more to her trouble. Let me not ease her trouble. Let me add more to it. This is our people. Yeah, double it. This is our people. We don't make life easy for ourselves. We know we're suffering already, and we want to further that affliction, and then say, oh, what about the white man doing this to us? Yeah, the white man's doing this to us, but what about what you're doing to your community?
Right.
Right? We can't but only dodge accountability but for so long, man. We can't but only dodge accountability for so long. We gotta get it together as a people. Because the time is running out. This is why I had the brother start out with getting our house in order. If we're getting our house in order, what does that mean? It means something is coming to the house, right? Usually, like, your parents tell you, hey man, you better make sure you clean your room. Your uncles is coming, your cousins is coming, right? That means somebody's coming to visit. If you're getting your house in order, it's for a presentation. Right. If your house is dirty and Christ comes back, hey man, listen. You see them skits where they be like, oh, well, I gotta clean my room, or they're gonna come to my room, and then as soon as they come to your room, they're like, oh, I knew it. It was a paper on the floor. Nah, y'all dirty. But that's how God is gonna be if he comes in and he finds disorder in his house. Y'all gonna get in trouble. But I guess y'all don't care about getting in trouble. Y'all don't care about burning. Y'all don't care about none of these things. Right? Keep going.
Plead for the widow. Come now and let us reason together, saith Yahweh.
That's all we want to do. We're here on behalf of God, because God don't get off his throne for none of y'all. Right? So he set representatives. Come now and let us reason together. That's all we're trying to do with our people. We're not going to yell at you. We're not going to slap you. We're not going to call you names. We just want to talk and find out what it is or what the discrepancy is with the keeping of the laws. Why is it that you don't want to keep the laws? Do you have a misconception about what the laws are? Is that why you don't want to do them? How can we fix that, right? Matter of fact, you want to finish up here? Con, if you could get me Jeremiah 2 and 5. What iniquity have your father done?
The book of Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 5. Thus saith Yahweh, when iniquity Salakia, what iniquity have your fathers found in me?
That's the question we want to ask. Why? Like, that's why we want a reason. Like, why don't y'all? What did God not do that you don't want to keep the laws of the Most High God anymore? Or what do you think the laws of the Most High God are that you don't want to do them? That's the questions we need to have. We need to have these real questions. We have to ask these real questions to get real answers so we can work towards a solution. But we can't work towards a solution if we're not being real with each other. Matter of fact, hold that for me, Hosea 5. Bring it up.
What iniquity have your fathers found in me that they are gone far from me?
What is it that made y'all walk away from God? That's the question. That's the question today. Anybody got an answer for me? What made you walk away from God? What made you put the Bible down and say, you know what, this ain't it? Because we need to have these conversations, right? So we could fix the rift. Christ came and died so we could have a space to go back to the Most High God, but we have to walk towards Him, right? We have to be drawn towards Him. So we have to have these conversations to be drawn towards the Lord, right? Keep going.
That they have walked far from me and have walked after vanity.
And have walked after what?
And
After vanity.
After vanity. We walked after things that don't profit us. We're getting ready to celebrate a holiday that people think has something to do with Christ when in reality it has nothing to do with Christ. That's how vain we become, right? The birth of Christ has become falsified and commercialized, right? They'll lie to you about the birth of Christ, saying, oh yeah, you should be celebrating it, when the Bible says no such thing. And even then they lie to you about the celebration of it because it's pagan in its origin, right? So these are the things we have to call into question. We're walking after vanity, right?
And have became vain.
And have became vain. In return for walking after vanity, we become vain, right? Where we can't even have real conversations about God anymore. God is looked at as lame when you want to talk about God in the Bible, because we become vain. It's all become how much is in your bank account, right? It's all become about materialistic things instead of spiritual things. That's how vain we become. We don't prioritize wisdom anymore, right? The wiser you are, the more ridicule you get for it. But again, this is our people. We become vain until we like learn, until we actually address the problem. We're gonna stay here. But our people don't want to address the problem, right? Read.
It's the book of Hosea, chapter 5 and verse 15. I will go and return to my place.
You will do what?
I will go and return to my place.
And this is why people ask, if God is real, what was he in during slavery? He was in his place. That's the answer to that question, right? Where was God during slavery? He said, I will go and return to my place. I was chilling at the crib, right? Because that's the answer. Y'all want to know, where was God when we was going through it? God told you where he was going to be at. I'm going to be at the crib until you come knocking, right? So if you don't come knocking, again, this is what's going to happen to you. You're going to get taken advantage of by every nation under the earth. Until you acknowledge your offense, he's going to be at his crib, right? Read.
I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense.
So they do what?
Till they acknowledge their offense.
Right. And when I read stuff like this, it reminds me of the relationship that man has with his woman, right?
Oh my God, why do you want to read that?
For things to get fixed, right? For there to be actual resolution in a relationship, you have to, okay, you know what? I messed up by doing this. I'm sorry for that. And then we could move on from it. Our people expect the Most High God to move on from the biggest betrayal that's continually happening, right? You cheat on the Most High God, and then you say, oh, I'm not cheating, but love me anyway, right? Let's look at the relationship that we have from the Most High God in terms of a man and wife, because that's how the Most High God relates to us when he talks. Israel is the bride of the Most High God, right? So imagine your bride is cheating on you every single day, but then he's asking you, why don't you love me? What do you mean, why don't I love you? You just went and stayed at old boy's crib and you asking me why I don't love you. Like, let's actually like put it into practicality how we treat the Most High God. Most of us don't do anything for the Lord, right? But then we ask for everything from him. You don't love the Lord, you don't keep his commandments, you don't even attempt to keep his commandments, but he should be blessing you. What have you done to get blessed? Do you deserve to get blessed? The answer is no. But again, our people don't acknowledge that. They stay in their delusion, right? Read.
Till they acknowledge their offense and seek my face.
And do what?
And seek my face.
Ain't nobody seeking the face of the Lord, man. Ain't nobody seeking to know the Lord, which the scriptures tells us to know the Lord is to keep his commandments. Ain't nobody know the Lord. Y'all don't want to seek the commandments of the Most High God. Y'all don't want to seek his face. If anything, y'all want the Lord to come chasing after y'all as if y'all the prized possession. What? That's the question today.
Great is he inside of me, casting out this net like I was by the Sea of Galilee. Harvest gonna be plenty, but the laborers are few. Matthew 17 and 20, there ain't nothing we can't do. I can't be no lukewarm, fringes with the blue on. Devil wanna deal, but I told him this ain't Groupon. Praise to the Almighty, you know we gon' sing a new song. Hail the King of King, the ultra low, no Jimmy Neutron. If you keep his laws and his commands, then we can fellowship. I don't get with Pharisees and I don't rock with Hellenists. I ain't praising man, cause only Father get my reverence. I'm swimming in the word, it got me feeling like a yellowfin. Yeah, big stepper, Mr. Demon Chin Checker, trying to hear that well done, cause I feel that displeasure. Father pouring out the wrath, and he got a big measure. If it ain't about the kingdom, then I don't give a 6 letter. You got faith in the Messiah, you got power. I was clean up in that blood just like a shower. Isaiah 5, you were the vine that came out sour, but now we stand to giving glory in this hour. Yeah, we breaking them curses, fleeing the ways of the serpent. Follow his word and pray for discernment, cause they want us laying in hearses. We gotta rise up, raise and resurface, choose life and stay in your purpose. The price was paid like a merchant, through Christ who came as a servant. See, the kingdom is really the bag, but yet somehow they chasing a Birkin. After this you ain't getting a chance, while you living you can't better search him. Gotta call on his name like his urchin, never knowing that day is emerging. So repent at the weight of perversions, judgment coming, that thing is for certain. Let's go.